Hey man, what's going on? Anthony with Metal Miners Music, back with another video. Got a few cassettes, handful of CDs. Let's have a good time. Y'all want to check out some cool music. In the background, this is Ferum. The name of the album is Vergence, 2018 release on Everlasting Spew. I want the new one that came out this year. They put this out. They've been active since 2017, I think, and they put this one out in 18, this EP, and then they had a full length this year, well, 2022, and a lot of people showing that thing, making a big fuss about it, but I have not picked it up yet, so I can't speak on it. Outstanding stuff. I hadn't heard the new one, but this EP is great, and that's the total of their discography. They've got that EP, or this EP, and then the release that came out in 2022. If you're not familiar with this band, I won't say these guys because you'll see in a minute, but it's a 3-piece. You get 5 tracks on here, about 24.5 minutes of music. Death metal out of Italy. And there you have the band right there. This is Samantha. She does guitars and vocals. You hear her in the background. Mateo there in the middle plays bass. And then this young lady, Angelica, plays the drums. Just great stuff. Comes a little, folds out in a little poster. Like that. Yeah, I don't think you would have ever guessed that voice would come out of her, but it does, man. It's good stuff. I really enjoy it. I'm gonna pick up that full length just as soon as I find the copy. But like I say, Ferum out of, this is awful shiny, man. I can't take that. Ferum out of Italy. Everlasting Spew put this one out. Ferum is Latin for wild, untamed, or fierce is what it says on Metal Archive. So there you have that tidbit of information. Check them out playing in the background, man. Great stuff. Alright, I want to show y'all a few cassettes that I got in from Intuit Records out of the Netherlands. The first one, I had my order in, and then I seen Liam was showing this cassette on his channel, and he did a much better job of describing it than I ever could. So I won't go into too much detail. But the first one is a split between Graceless and Grond. The name of the split is Endless Spiral of Terror. Check out that art there. That art's by Deomorph. I think he's actually a member in the band Grond. This came out in 2019 on Raw Skull Records. It's also available on CD and in a gatefold vinyl release, which I would love to have. Both bands play death metal. Both bands have 4 tracks on here, for a runtime totaling of 42.5 minutes of music or something like that. Everybody's familiar with Graceless. If you watch this channel, I'm a Graceless fan. Of course, they got 3 full length. The latest one was this past year, and you know, that's just super stuff on its own right. But then the Grond part is the part that I want to speak on just a little bit. Grond is a 5-piece. There's the guys right there out of Russia. These guys have 2 full lengths. The first one came out in 2013, and then they had another one in 2016. Just an awesome band. If you get a chance to pick up this split, it's a good way to get you a sample of both bands. Well, really more than a sample, because you get 4 tracks from each one. But if you can, you find it available, or if you're able to stream it somewhere, go check out Grond. You'll be glad you did. Super music, awesome band, mid-pace for the most part, but they know how to speed it up, and then they just break it down with some chuggy riffs. I mean, I don't know how to describe it as good as, like if you want a better description, go check out Liam. He talks a whole lot better than I do. He's got that English accent, so that automatically makes him sound smarter than me. He's got all his hair, and plus he's in a band, so you know he must know what he's talking about. Pick this one up at Intuit, but like I say, it came out on Raw Skull. Been out a while, 2019. Man, if you can score you a copy of that vinyl, that is some awesome art there. This camera and this glare is not doing it. This was actually dedicated to Thomas Walter of Body Farm, who died in 2019 from cancer. So if you can get you a copy of this, be well worth your time. 2 great bands on 1 cassette. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out because it's got a kind of dark. This is the one that I really placed the order to get, and then I ended up getting the other stuff as a bonus. But this is Just Before Dawn, and the name of this is Battle Site Zeroing. This is a 2022 release on Intuit Records. Of course, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this stuff. You see the U.S. Army thing there, the tunnel rat patches, all this. This is Vietnam. I think Just Before Dawn's a war-themed band anyway, but this particular one is a Vietnam-themed album. Art by Moberg. This is death metal out of Stockholm, Sweden. 4-piece on here. You get 6 tracks, a little over 34 minutes of music. These guys have been at it since 2012 actually, and they had their debut full length in 2012, and then their latest in 2020 to total 4. So I mean, these guys they've been at it quite a bit. Of course, one of the members that you may recognize the name on here, Remco Kreft from Graceless, is on here. Soulburn, you know, he always delivers outstanding vocals. The vocal performance on here is kind of Van Druin-esque, if you will, but great stuff, great music. If you like war-themed death metal, this is a good one right here. All right, here's one everybody will recognize, probably at least recognize the name of the band. Legends in the Finnish death metal scene. This is Demigod, Unholy Domain. This one came out in 1991 independently. This is a 2020 reissue on Intuit Records. Chaos Graphics did that cover art there. Let me take it out where you can see it a little bit better. Of course, I don't want to insult your intelligence, but this is, you know, Finnish death metal. 3-piece on here, 4 tracks, almost 16 minutes of music. They actually had a rehearsal. Let's see how this goes. They had a rehearsal demo before this. I don't know if it's available on physical media. Then they had this. Then in '92, of course, they released that that stellar debut full-length Slumber of Sullen Eyes. And if you like that, which I'm sure you do, you'll like this, because this is that style leading up to that tremendous album. It's great. Everything you want in a Finnish death metal demo, everything you expect from the early days of Demigod is here. So check it out. Intuit Records has got them. And believe it or not, man, you can, you know, here in the States, you can order stuff from over there, and it's unbelievably inexpensive. I don't understand it, but I mean, his prices are so good. I can get 4 or 5 cassettes, and the time I pay shipping, it would be what I would pay for the cassettes if I could find them at a distro over here. So check out his site, Intuit Records, out of the Netherlands. And with the Just Before Dawn, he sent me some coasters. Death from Above. You see the Air Cav boys there hopping out of that Huey. And there's his logo on the back, old school death metal, 100% old school, Into It Records. He sent me a handful of them. So cool stuff, man. I appreciate it, Edwin. You're a prince among us poppers, man. I appreciate you. All right, I got 3 CDs I want to show you, and I'll turn you guys loose. The first one I want to show you, let me go ahead and pull this out, is Burial Invocation, and the name of this one is Rituals of the Grotesque. This was a 2010 release on Dark Descent. There's the guys there on the back. If you're not familiar with Burial Invocation, they were on this release. They were a 5-piece. The band's out of Turkey. This cover art's by Nev. You get 5 tracks on this one. 23.5 minutes of music. Let me see here. Well, while I'm thinking, there's the CD. And you'll notice that the 5th track there is a bonus track. The name of it's Obliterated in an Ignominious Grave. Whew. It didn't actually come on the 2010 release. This is a 2014 reissue that has that extra track. That extra track was actually released on a 7-inch split with Anatomia, and it was placed on here. So that was cool to get. These guys have been at it since 2008, and they had about a 4-year run. Then they took a couple-year break, and they came out with this was their first release, and then they had a full length in 2018 with that Anatomia split there in the middle. If you want to know what this sounds like, it's just super death metal. It's got half the band is from Decay and Purity, Engulf, Hyperdontia, Diabolizer. So you know what you're getting into. Leans more towards the Engulfed and Hyperdontia side of things, but just great heavy music. If that's your thing, this is your jam right here. So I was super glad to get that. Pick that up at Dark Descent. I think they got some more of those. They had a sale a while back. And then I want to show you their full length that came out in 2018 on Dark Descent as well. Man, I would love to have this on vinyl simply to get that Dan Seagrave art in my hand. And the name of this one is Abiogenesis, I believe is how you say that. I don't know, man. Like I say, Dan Seagrave artwork. If I didn't say, these guys are from Turkey. On this one, they trimmed it back to a 3-piece. 5 tracks on this one, 41 some change on the music, on the runtime. The tunes are getting a little bit longer. They're getting a little bit more doomy with this one, but it's still heavy, thick, mid-pace for the most part. Like I say, if you haven't heard from these guys, I think this is on most streaming services, this full length, but this is absolutely killer music. Start here, and if you go back and can find this 2014 reissue with that split on there, you will have everything they have out to date. Super stuff. I mean, absolutely awesome music. As that music is in the back as well, man. I'm really enjoying that. Ferum. Last but not least by any means. Stuff's falling off my desk over here. Rancid Amputation. Woo! Cover art by a dude named Nuno Zuki. This is a 2022 release on Morbid Chapel Records. This is classified as an EP. You get 5 tracks, almost 20 minutes of music. A one-man deal. There he is there, Michael Oak. is the man's name. Had a demo in 2021, and then this. And I don't know if you can see it, but here in the bottom it says Rancid Amputation. Is a tribute to early 90s Buffalo death metal scene. Baphomet, Banished, Cannibal Corpse, Carnal Dissection, Grotesque, Infection, and the list just goes on. And that's exactly what it is. It is super. I mean, there's nothing lacking about it. Young man's out of Portugal. Just super stuff. Picked this one up at Rotted Life. Seen several guys over in the UK showing this one. Finally found the copy over here. Like I say, it's out on Morbid Chapel. Well, let me open that up where you don't get that glare. There she is there. There's the back cover. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Super talented man. Young man there. Awesome. And actually, I forgot to say, it says Rancid Amputation plays malodorous death metal exclusively, but it says pseudo guest scream on Dread Inside by Mark Barney Greenway. So there you go. Rancid Amputation. That's it for me. Again, playing in the back is Ferum. The name of this one is, I can't read that dark thing. Let me see where I got it wrote down. Vergence. Check them out and go find that 2022 debut full length from this band. Super stuff. Awesome. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all stay to the end. Appreciate y'all.